know what I mean? You can put a label on a life, put a label on a lifestyle, you know? Put a label on how you wake up every morning and go to bed at night.
So time for the follow-up video on the pull-up workout. Pull-ups, like to start off with this exercise that I've got here. This is called an elbow bridge, I like to call. It's basically waking up the muscles in the upper back. The lats, too, of course, and the rear deltoids, but basically just pushing down as hard as I possibly can with the elbows into the floor, keeping those lats on, the back is arched, and it basically just kind of gets the muscles and the nervous system engaged and ready to get a little bit more out of the following pull-ups. Not a whole lot going on with the sets and reps, just a few times. 4 to 5 seconds is all you need. All right, so jumping up into the first pull-ups, always trying to find something technical to improve upon every exercise you do. So in this particular workout, what I'm trying to do is pull the elbows back using the same muscles that I just used in the elbow bridge. Also, I'm keeping my hamstrings and my glutes engaged, which usually you don't hear about too much when it comes to pull-ups, but give it a try. If you keep your glutes and your hamstrings tight, you will notice a significant increase in tension in all of your pulling muscles, your traps, your lats, your rhomboids, rear deltoids, even your biceps and your grip will work harder. Switching up grips just a little bit. But generally, my plan here is just to go for about 10 to 15 repetitions, getting a good burn in the muscles, not quite to failure, but keeping the tension on even throughout the entire repetition, especially at the bottom. Keeping the back muscles tense is really quite a challenge, especially with pull-ups. And a lot of times when people have challenges with things like tendonitis, it's a lack of tension in the rear deltoids and the lats that is causing that. Now on to another exercise that as far as I know, I made this one up. I haven't seen anyone else do it, the inverted pull-ups. Inverted pull-ups are really good for the core of the spine and the traps in the upper back. So basically grabbing onto a bar, sliding the legs along the bar, kind of like you're doing a very poor form deadlift, only because there's no extra weight in the hands, your spine is perfectly safe if it rounds. So I'm picking myself up with my lats, the muscles in the upper back, the rhomboids and traps, and of course those upper traps are getting the lion's share of this as well. Always make sure that you do this not quite to failure. You want to make sure you can come down in a very controlled manner. Pull-ups, of course, we can do curls. Curling pull-ups. This is where I got towels on the Smith bar, or you can put it on anything that's not going to move on you. The elbows up and forward away from the rib cage. That's also very key. If the elbows come close to the rib cage when you're doing this, it turns into more of just a standard row, and the back is getting more of the lion's share of the intensity. So pushing, or rather pulling the elbows forward, keeping the hands where they are in space will nail the hell out of your biceps better than any sort of preacher curl or barbell standing curl or anything like that. Towels also make it really good for the grip and the muscles in the wrists and the hand. Very safe, very comfortable, very hard on the biceps. And then I finished off with some rowing motions. I'm using my grip grenades for these to really challenge out the muscles in the forearms and of course the hands. Still focusing on the same basic tenets of the pull-ups that I was doing earlier. So keeping the rear deltoids engaged all the way down, the lats, the traps, the rhomboids. Nothing relaxes. Nothing is turning off at the bottom or the top. Notice also that the backside of my body is fully engaged, the glutes and the hamstrings still fully turned on, and I'm not reaching forward with my chin at all. So that way my body's nice and stiff, and the muscles in my arms and my back have to be doing all of the work. Then I graduated up to alternating single arm version. To do this, you can't quite see my legs, but I'm doing this tabletop style, which is where I bend my knees at 90 degrees. And as I'm pulling with one arm, I'm pushing down into the floor with the opposing leg and also engaging the glutes and the hamstrings on that. So I'm essentially kind of pulling myself up a little bit with the muscles on the back of my leg. So that way I'm nice and stable. I'm not getting over rotation, too much twist in this as well. All sets, again, 10 to 15 repetitions or until fatigue, high level of fatigue. Till then, be fit, live free.